Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Kriemhild from Vapefly. I've been using Vapefly products for a couple of years and they never cease to amaze me with the quality that they produce, and this is no exception. The Kriemhild is a collaborative effort between Vapefly and the German Team 103. With so many people involved, it can either go very right or so very wrong. Let's dive down below, and when we come back up top, I'll tell you what I think of it. Okay, let's have a look at this Kriemhild kit. First of all, you've got a very nice presentation box. On the back, you've got the contact details for Vapefly. And you've got their logo, their new logo as well. There we go. Let's open this up. That's what you're here for. Oh yeah. We all like a tidy little box, don't we? So inside, as you can see, you get your mod, your tank, and we are going to go through the rest of the contents underneath it first of all. But you can see that you get a tank and a mod and a glass, and then underneath you get your battery safety card, which you get with all devices. You've got a contact card. It tells you all the German 103 members that helped design the mod. Then you've got a Sub Ohm tank user manual. And then you've got the Kriemhild user manual, just to show you what buttons to press. Bag of O-rings, and you've got two coils. The first coil is a triple, an NI80 triple, and having a look over it, you can see it's plated, 3 meshed cores inside, some really big juice ports, and underneath, there you go, you can just see inside a little bit better. And then your second coil is a single, really big wide gaping hole. Same again, meshed coil, but just as a single. And then you've got your spare glass. And you've got a USB charge lead, and it's a Type C. Thank God it's a Type C. And then we've got the Sub Ohm tank. Just have a quick look over this Sub Ohm tank just to show you around it. As you can see at the top, you've got some heat sinking going on to help cool it down, and the drip tip is slightly curved, and the drip tip, just to show you, it's quite stiff at the start when you try and take it out. That's because it is double O-ringed, not only on the drip tip but inside. So I would suggest that you just put a little bit of juice on there just to help it along, and it will make it easier to pull in, push out, pull in, whatever way. Then the top cap, if you pull it up, it's a child safety top cap. Pull up, look for the arrow, and it will slide over away from the arrow. There you go, and you can see the kidney hole. Close it back off, and just to have a look at the bottom, you've got the airflow here, and it does spin. It's quite restricted. I'll just tighten this up first of all. It does spin, and it spins, but it's nice and restricted. It's tight enough to stay where you put it, so it's quite sturdy. It's well done. On the bottom, you've got Kriemhild, you've got a serial number. As you can see, it's plated, but it's a static pin. I would not suggest using this on a mechanical mod. It is purely for regulated devices. Just to open this up for you, I'll show you inside the base. It is a 2-pin base, so that connects onto the bottom of the coil, all plated, all very, very clean as well. And here's the coil. As you can see, this is a single inside here. Just want to show you the coil system. This is amazing. So the coil, as you pull it out, look, it releases a juice flow control system, so it stops the juice coming out. Isn't that amazing? I'm just going to do that again. Look, put the coil in and it opens up the juice flow control. Pull it out, it closes the juice flow control. That is amazing. Means you can change over the coil and not lose juice or drip everywhere. As you can see inside, very clean. There is no oil, no residue, no sharp edges, no burrs. This is manufactured to a very, very high standard. It's clean. It comes to your doorstep ready to vape. If I just open up and I'll show you inside where the juice goes into, because it does look very narrow. Just be careful there's no ring on the glass there. Look, there's no oil. There's nothing left over. It's very, very nicely polished. Nothing on there at all. No machine marks. This is quality in a tank. This is what you're expecting from our vendors. The juice I'm going to be using is Sweet Spot Wambar, and this comes from Freemist. Really nice juice. I'm just going to put a couple of drops onto this coil before we fill it up, just to help prime it through. So I'll just put a couple of drops in there, roll it round, and then a couple of drops around the outside, round the outside, round the outside. A couple of drops round the outside. There you go. This will just help it ease the juice into the coil when you insert it. And then push the coil back in, and here you go. Oh yeah, isn't that satisfying? Just do it one more time. One more time. Oh yeah, there you go. I do like pushing that in. I really do. Something satisfying about it. And so then close off the bottom, and to fill the top, as you can see, look, the Gorilla bottles, they don't get close enough because of that drip tip. So pull the drip tip out, and then you can pump your juice in as hard as you want to pump it. Fill it up, close it, wipe up any mess, put the drip tip back in, and there you go, Bob's your uncle or your auntie. So the mod, let's have a look at the mod. That's the most important part, I think. You've got your up and down button, you've got a fire button, and at the bottom here you've got a charge port, a Type C charge port. There you go. And it's on the front, so it makes it easy to plug in if you so wish. And then on the top you've got a stainless steel 510 plate. I wish they'd matched it to the button, but hey ho. On the base there you can see you've got some more plating, and they are my fingerprints. It's just from me. I'm a sticky bugger. So as you can see, look, it does come nice and clean. It's just from me touching it because I like to touch it. I can't help myself. So just to open this up and just push the catch up. There you go, and that will release the sledge. And inside you can see there's two tubes for 18650 batteries. I'm not going to be using these. I'm going to be using 2700s. But don't lose them, keep them. You never know when you're going to use them. This is plastic inside here. It looks metallic, but it's not. It's just a spray finish. At the bottom there you've got two gold plated contacts, and they put on there the pluses and minuses so you know which way round your batteries go. There are markings galore inside this. You can't put your batteries in the wrong way round. You've got a faux leather finish on the back. You've got Kriemhild, which lights up. It's a breathing light, and these two pins activate it. There you go. And as you can see on the inside of the mod there, you've got battery indicators as well to tell you which way your batteries are supposed to face. You can't get this wrong, and that's where the two pins connect from the sledge door. It's very clean, very well done. You are paying for quality items from Vapefly, and for such a cheap mod, it's well worth it. So here's the two 2700s. We're going to stick these in, and then we'll fire it up. Let's make sure I get these in the right way, because I'd look a bit of a dickhead if I didn't. There we go. It is a bit finicky just to get that sledge on there. There's two catches it clips onto. So 5 clicks to turn it on, plus and minus, so hold the plus button and it goes up. Now it does go up in 0.1 increments. I wish it just went up in 1 watt increments, but it goes up in 0.1s, but it gets faster. It goes all the way from 5 watts all the way up to 200. It gets there eventually. I should really probably sing for you while we wait, but I'm not going to. And then look, there you go, round robins. And it starts off slow. We'll get it up to a reasonable wattage. About 40-50 watts, because the coils are about 40-50 watts to start with anyway. Hold plus and minus to lock the mod, and then hold plus and minus to unlock the mod. So if we click 3 times, we go into the sub-menu system. We can change whether we want it temperature control or variable wattage. And then we can change whether it wants to hit hard, soft or normal. And then you can cycle through whether you want to adjust the ohms or lock the resistance. It also has a clock on the front as well. So we can go into the proper menu. You've got light settings on here, so you can change the colours on the front if you so wish. And you've got red, green, white, yellow, indigo, purple and blue. You can also change the timeout of how long the light stays on for before the clock comes on. I'll set mine to 30 seconds, more than enough. You can check your puff settings and reset them if you're into that kind of thing. I'm not really too fussed. And you can adjust your brightness. This does round robin, so you can go all the way up, increase the brightness, but it is going to drain your batteries. There you go. You've also got 4 memory functions, memory modes, so you can set up for your favourite variable wattage mode, your favourite temperature control mode. You could have several of them if you want. You've also got a curve mode. I don't really use curve mode, but there is that on there. Then you've got a working clock. It's nice they've included a clock that works and it displays the time, not only on the standby screen, but also on the main display. So we're going to attach a tank. The threads are nice and smooth, buttery smooth, no problems there. And when you attach it, it will ask if it's a new coil. The ideal resistance for these coils is about 50 watts to start off with. So as you can see, new coil 0.19, yep, about 50 watts. So I'm just going to bump this up, start off at the lowest. There we go, about 50. About 50. Yeah, it does take a bit of time because of that 0.1. Yeah. And we'll go back up top and I'll let you know what I really think of it. You may think this is all going to be ass kissing. I do have lots of positives, but I do have some negatives too. First of all, the positives. We'll start with the positives. It comes in 4 different colour options. The overall design and half oval shape is not only ergonomic, but is comfortable in the hand to hold. The fire button not only sits in a very comfortable position, whichever way you hold it, but it also has a satisfying click, so you know that you've pressed it. It's great that they've included a Type-C port for charging as well. I wish that others would do the same. The LCD is easy to read and easy to navigate to, with the option of changing colours as well. Low firing goes all the way down to 0.002 and all the way up to 3 ohms, but the lowest ohm really is for temperature control and shouldn't be used for regular vaping. You also have a curve function and memory presets as well. They've included a working clock on the display and also on the display screen at the very top there. In the battery sledge you have markings galore, so you know which way round to put your batteries, and you also have gold plated contacts, so you know you've got sure firing every time. Moving on to the tank, sub ohms never give as good a flavour as an RDA or an RDTA or an RTA even, but I have to say that this sub ohm tank has knocked it out of the park for me. It's impressed me. I've enjoyed using this one. It's been really nice. It's flavourful. To start off with, when you take the coil out, there's a little catch inside that stops the juice from being released all over your hand, your table, your clothes. I think that's a brilliant idea. Why don't all Sub Ohm tanks have that? You can change coils without having to rinse and wash your tank out every time. Perfect. It comes with 2 NI80 coils, a triple mesh and a single mesh coil. The single mesh, I didn't enjoy it as much, and I can't say the flavour was bad, but the flavour was quite average. But the triple was definitely 3 times the flavour. And the performance, at least. It is still going now. I've been loving this. The drip tip is not my normal shape or go-to style, but they have double O-ringed it, and because of that, you know that it's secure, you know that it's not going to come out needlessly, and it is quite hard to remove at the start, but as long as you put a little bit of juice in there, it will stop those O-rings splitting. The fill port and the child lock feature is a big positive, but you will have to take out that drip tip to get to the fill port if you're using the Chubby Gorilla bottles. It's really hard to get close enough to be able to fill it up. I wouldn't say it's a negative though. I think it's something you have to be mindful of in this day and age, that the Gorilla bottles are quite wide. The airflow control is tight, it's restricted, it stays in place wherever you turn it to, it doesn't spin at all, which is perfect really. I run mine at about 1/3 closed. It's nice for flavour, it's nice for clouds. Here you go. As you can see, it produces a big fat cloud. So I've done a lot of ass kissing. Let's go on to the negatives. I would have liked to have seen a bypass mode or a variable voltage mode, something to suit a lot more vapors out there. I think that would have complemented this mod perfectly. The bung on the charge port is not a tight fit, it doesn't stay in place, you do have to push it in, but even then when I catch it, it comes back out. Maybe that's just mine, I don't know. They have included a breathing light on the back, and the breathing light may be a bonus to some, but pointless to me as it only works when you vape and I can't see it. It's probably more of a drain on the batteries. I would have liked to have seen a metal firing button, as I think that the coating's going to probably wear in time. And I say that because I'm going to use this, or I intend to use this a lot, because I've enjoyed using it so far. But I think that if that is a plastic coating on the top there, it's going to wear off and it's going to make the mod look ugly. Overall, this is an amazing bit of kit, and I've had to look really hard to find those negatives. Is it something I would go out and buy? Yes. Do I use it regular? At the moment, yes. Should you go out and buy this? Only you can answer that. I've been Graham, this has been Vape Underground, and this has been the Kriemhild from Vapefly and Team 103. Thank you very much for sending that over, and I honestly have really enjoyed using this so far. If you are interested in knowing a little bit more about the Kriemhild, a little bit of Google magic, Vapefly, you can find their website. I'm not allowed to put links down below, but I'm sure you'll find them. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Check out some of the other videos and leave me some comments down below. I'll see you all soon. Stay safe, stay indoors, and vape responsibly.